How civilised. We are starting the vlog in daylight. Well, morning light. It's not the brightest in the world, but it's certainly not 3 a.m. in the morning. Good morning, children. My ponies are awake. It's 6:20. So a very normal time to be coming onto the yard. How are we doing, kids? I'm hoping you've managed to get some sleep. It was our neighbour's 18th birthday party last night, and well, actually we all live here on site, so you know, and I am all for the party, but I do think Donut and Maggie found it a bit of a shock listening to music all night. How are you doing, Nutty? He says, I am so much better now the teenagers have gone to bed. I would say they have had pretty good music choices. So, right, girlie? Good girl. Yeah, so the horses don't seem too bad. They were a little bit like, oh, what's going on? Initially last night, but I did think it's probably not a bad thing for them to get used to. In case we ever go to some stayaways and there's parties going on nearby the stables, at least they're at home while they're learning about it. So, yes. Anyway, on to the vlog. It's an eventing day again. What a lucky girl I am to go eventing so often. Oh, not allowed to touch Bennett. Okay, he's still cross. He is still... They've gone. They've all gone. They'll be soundly asleep right now, having partied the night away while we were like grannies in bed early. Bless him. Good boy. The good news is Donut's not vlogging. The good news is Donut's not eventing today. It's a solo day, and it's a day for Maxie. Maxie seems a bit less phased about the whole situation. You're still curled up in bed. Are you tired? You'll have to have a sleep on the way there. Good girl. Yes, so I need to plat up. I need to put some stuff in the lorry. I've got the little basket. I've made some sandwiches, and that's the ice that needs to go in the lorry. This has got the sandwiches in. Yeah, they're not bought sandwiches. I made them myself. In here, I ran out of tin foil though, so there's one in a Ziploc bag, and yeah, we are heading to Chillington Park horse trials today. I've been there once before, many moons ago, and Mum got pinged by the COVID app while we were there, so that sort of gives you an idea. What was it, maybe 2021? Took Titan there. We're doing the badminton qualifier, which is very exciting, although the goal of today is to have a smooth dressage test, hopefully a clear show jumping. We should manage a clear show jumping, and another good confidence giving cross country for Maggie, because she is on her way back in. Good girl. And that would ideally be clear within the time. That is absolutely the aim. So we would like a smooth dressage and a double clear, please, girlie. But realistically, the goal is just to give her confidence again, keep building that up as we go, and then realistically, it means that if we qualify for badminton, that's amazing. I would be so delighted for us to qualify for badminton, but it's not like the be-all and end-all, because I think if I start getting stressed about it and putting pressure on, it's not going to happen anyway. So I need to start platting up, because we do need to look beautiful while we go and have a nice run. And yeah, I have faith in us, but that is the only time I'm going to mention it. After that, we're just out for a good solid day eventing. Yes, where we keep getting her confidence up, because it's important, isn't it, girlie? She says, I have had a tough year. I have had a tough year, and it would be nice to be feeling good. Tired? You are feeling good, aren't you? I've clipped her. She's had a haircut already, which is mad. Obviously, it's growing back pretty quick because it's an early clip. But I did her last week, Saturday last week, and she's looking very sleek and beautiful now. So I'm gonna feed them, get Maggie platted, finish offloading up the lorry, put you in the field, give you a kiss, give you a kiss. I love you, Donut. And I will catch you later.
You're a waterfall, I'm a fire. No surprise we don't go together, but it took us a while before we figured it out. What a shame. I'm not asking you for closure, I just want it to be over. We don't need to break up if we were never aligned. Is that okay? I shouldn't be yours if it means changing who I am to get us through. You shouldn't be mine because you're you. I've had enough, yeah, I've had enough. Say you've had enough. We wanna love, but 'cause it's not enough. Say you've had enough. Yeah, I gave it time and you really tried, but you're sick and tired, baby, so am I. I've had enough, yeah, I've had enough. Say you've had enough. When I met you in the summer, then you weren't such a bummer, and I wasn't as critical as I am now. Oh, I wish.
I'll censor that.
No!
I tried to follow the directions. I don't quite know what happened.
Oh, they didn't work!
They didn't, did they, Luke? Shush. I don't know whether there's a piece missing. I was following them word for word, and then we ended up in a pickle, and we've just come down the narrowest road I think we've ever driven down, to be quite honest.
Oh, the trees were brushing both sides.
Both sides of the lorry, like the wing mirrors were in the hedge. So that was entertaining, hence why I haven't got any video of us pulling up,
I'm
because
awfully glad you found it funny.
I think I might end up driving home in penance for my bad navigation.
You will not end up driving home in penance. You will end up driving home because I've needed a hefty gin. And it's
Well,
10:10.
poor Mama H, I'm sorry. But I've read this. I read the directions, and after 2.7 miles at the first roundabout, take the second exit, right turn onto Brewood Road into Coven. It never came. It never came. Oh, you've spilt my tea. Don't waste my tea.
Let me get Maggie Moo some air, bless her.
Yeah, let's get going. Right then, it is course walking time, and because someone's already done the cross country app and it has the correct optimum time, I think the minute markers will be fine. So I've brought the puppies with me to go and walk the course.
We couldn't rewind and be younger when we thought this love would last longer. Only a time machine could save us now. I've had enough, yeah, I've had enough. Say you've had enough. We wanna love, but 'cause it's not enough. Say you've had enough. Yeah, I gave it time and you really tried, but you're sick and tired, baby, so am I. I've had enough, yeah, I've had enough. Say you've had enough. I've had enough, say you've had enough. Yeah.
Okay, first impressions. First fence is a little strange at being skinny, but there's a lot around it, so shouldn't be an issue. Second fence has enough galloping time. It does feel like we're out in the country here. I remember when I walked it for Titan, I remember thinking it was maybe a bit trappy, but I'm not getting that impression right now, which is good. Oh, goodness me, we've got a combination at number 3. That's early on in the course. So a little bit of an accuracy question. Don't have to do anything major to A. Let's go walk the distance. Land here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. There's 2 flowing strides. And then a nice gallop up the hill if I don't fall over the doggies. I was aiming for the wrong jump then. I was aiming for the Trivial Pursuit jump. I think that's what the logo was. I've got this strange dice jump. I'm just going to aim in the middle. Got a ground line. And we'll be lining up that log over there. Okay, so I'm hoping we've settled into our stride early with having a combination at number 3. Then we've had a let-up fence at 5, and a little log, and there is a ditch. But she should be fine. It's wide. Right, let's see what striding we're on. 1, 2. Onto different ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. It's 2.5 strides. Okay, that's interesting. I'll restride it. Okay, so it walks extremely short. What I expect is the course builder is anticipating horses backing off and then it actually riding on a nice stride. So we'll see. We'll just have to keep her eyes up and her legs on. She's usually good with ditches, so should be fine. Nice let up jump. Very inviting. And we're going to get out of the way of the horse. Another nice let up fence. Again, very inviting. Amazing. Good boy.
I got high hopes. Do you want the same? Cause baby, all I got is high hopes. Do you feel the same? Do you want me, babe? Or is it just a game?
Okay, course review. I am getting soggy feet right now. It's all a bit rainy, but the ground's beautiful, to be fair. So the rain will sink in at least rather than it going down onto hard ground. Course looks good, much better than when I came however many years ago. Much more flowing and like the horses can read it, I think. I think having the combination at 3 early on is new, so that's something to be aware of. The ditch at 5 is something to ride decently. I'm quite happy with the carving lines at the blue roll tops to the log and then the water, so there's a lot to ride, but my aim is I'm going to take Maggie round and just ride her really relaxed, like I'm out schooling, rather than sort of being like, you've got to go. So it'll either work or it won't. I think it's going to work. So we will see how it goes. The doggies will be ready for a nap. It's a long way round. There's a lot of galloping, which I do like. It's like a 6-minute course, and it is because there is quite a long way to go. I think that's really good for the horses. Okay then, dressage time, let's go. You can't tell on the video as much as you could in person quite how much it was raining, but trust me, it was really, really raining, and I wasn't too excited to take my coat off, but obviously needs must. I was quite pleased with how Maggie warmed up. She was very relaxed, very obedient, and sort of just listening and being really good girl. My aim for this test was just effectively a clear round test, so try and do everything in the right order, all quite sweetly. I wasn't going for anything terribly wowzers. I just wanted smooth and consistent and a good way of going, just while we're getting our confidence back with it as such. Obviously we're doing a championship test, so we've got 2 judges in a 20x60 dressage arena, that great long centre line, but we are getting much more used to it these days. And I will read you out the scores from my top sheet, so from the judge at C, otherwise I get confused as we go. So we got an 8 for our centre line with no comment, and it was very straight, and you can just see she was very rhythmical and very consistent, which is what I was aiming for. And an 8 for this 15-metre circle, which I was very pleased with because that meant I was nice and accurate. I noticed I was a bit early here. That trot walk trot transition should have been over the centre line, but Maggie was so on my age, she went straight down to walk quite quickly, much quicker than I was expecting, so we happened early. So I thought, well, I'm better off giving the right number of steps in the walk and it just being early than sort of walking for days and getting over the centre line and then actually being not accurate for either part of the movement. So we got a 7 for that, with not quite from behind, with I assume with sort of the transition. And then we were at 7 for the trot around the edge with outline varying, and this 15-metre circle right we got an 8. And then we go on to the medium trot on the diagonal, and we got a 7 for that, with good steps but slightly downhill, which I think is fair enough, but we were showing a difference, which is really nice, and it was really rhythmical. 7.5 for our transition to medium walk, and then we have to walk all the way around to H, and we got an 8.5 for this. She has, well, to be fair, both of them have excellent walks, so providing I can keep them settled in their walks, we do seem to sort of scoop up quite good marks. They really step through, they're really active. The half 20-metre circle free walk on a long rein, we got a good stretch, and we got an 8 for it, with a smooth transition, which I assume is probably sort of down to the free walk and then up into the medium walk where I retake the rein. We then had transition to working trot, transition to canter, all as one lot of marks, and we got 8, rhythm well maintained. E circle left 20 metres diameter, give and retake the rein for at least 3 strides on the second half of the circle, and we got an 8.5 with good balance. I do know that the judge at B or E, one in the middle, did point out that she sort of poked her nose when I did the give and retake, and I did notice that, so I made sure to work harder on it the next time round. Then we had to do a half 15-metre circle left, returning to the track at S with a trot just before S, and we got an 8 for that as well. So it's just a consistently good test. The judge at C was definitely marking a bit higher than the judge at the middle, but it was consistent throughout, so he was just using higher marks than the judge in the middle was. But yeah, it's lovely to have a test filled with 8s like this, and it's exactly what I was aiming for, a consistent test. And you can see there she stayed much better on the bridle for the second give and retake, and I was so proud of her. So we just continued getting 8s there, and a 7 for that 20-metre circle, and then this half 15-metre circle back to the track we just got a 7 with slightly flattening, and you can see the trot transition just wasn't quite as good, but even so a 7 is still fairly good on the scales, which is I'm very pleased with, put it that way. And then we got a 7 for this movement that we're doing now with outline varying and then good halt, but really I could not falter. I was so proud of her, and I feel like we're finally starting to get our dressage mojo back. Got 8s for everything in our collectives, and I was very proud. Look at those muddy britches. On to the show jumping now, and the rain had stopped, but the ground had obviously been fairly chewed up from it was stair rodding for a good while, so the warm-up was quite sloppy. So I just got on, jumped a few fences and went, I'll just go in, it'll be fine. And you can see Maggie's really pinging, she's such a good girl. I thought that second fence looked absolutely teeny tiny, but you know, respect everything anyway. And then you went on to the third fence, which it looked a lot bigger to me in person, but hey ho, I've got to stop looking at how big stuff looks because it really doesn't matter to the horses. Now we had a pole down here, and what I felt I did was, obviously Maggie did quite a large jump over number 3, and then I was very aware that it's sort of sticky, muddy territory, so I didn't want her to start jumping bigger and bigger because that's what she's been known to do in the past when it gets a bit deeper. So I rode her down the line and asked her to go quite forward, and what I didn't do was I didn't really close my rein to support her down to the fence. So I think that's where she just sort of tipped it with her back legs, and I very quickly learnt my lesson because I instantly knew what I'd done, and I then picked up and was supporting her much better down the contact as well as with my leg by riding her forwards, and she was a really good girl. We met this last double on a half stride, and look at this clever trot stride she did. She was so clever, so feeling very proud of her because a little while ago she wouldn't have felt comfortable doing that at all. So here Mum's got a little clip of her. I'm in the lorry getting ready at this stage for cross country. I'm really sorry I've not got more behind the scenes in between. I think I was just sort of trying to get on and focus and competing. Some days I'm a bit better at chatting to you in between than others. Invariably on the busier days I'm often a bit better at chatting. On the less busy days I'd have to sort of work on my mindset a little bit more and do a little bit more work on myself in between phases. So that's where the luck of the draw comes as to whether you get me chit-chatting to you or not. Anyway, at the start box for the cross country. Now, I didn't know where I was sitting at this stage. I had no clue. All my principle was that this course would be really good prep for Maggie's 1-star and hopefully going back to novice next year because it was a tough course. I knew I'd had a pole down, and I knew that my dressage was good, but I didn't know quite how good because we hadn't had any signal in the lorry park. So I just went out hoping for a good confidence giving round for Maggie. So you can see, obviously I was planning on going inside the time, but I didn't want to be hassling her or anything. I was just going for a nice, smooth, give her confidence.
I'm not heading for the stars, driving down the boulevard at night. Playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by. And it doesn't even matter to me where I go, I just feel I need to take a ride. Got my coffee cup to go, and I'm gonna hit the road tonight. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it
I'm just going to interject here because we are on our run up to the water complex, and I would be lying if I didn't say I was actually quite nervous about doing this fence. Maggie has always struggled with water. She's always been very suspicious of it. It took us a long time to even get her to put her feet into it, let alone to jump into it. And she jumps into it great out schooling these days, but in competition she's never done a step in first time. And look at her. I was so proud of her. I was literally singing her praises at this stage and just so over the moon, to the extent I was actually thinking, oh, shall I just pull up and retire now? She's been such a good girl. We'll just finish off this complex and finish. And then luckily I came to my senses and thought, no, I best carry on, because we might have a shot at qualifying for badminton now we've managed to get through this. So yeah, the pride we had going through that water, she was just amazing, and I'm so lucky to have her. Also, look at this fence. So these were very skinny, and someone had taken the flag down, and I was approaching it thinking, well, I can't just stop and wait for them to put the flag out, but luckily it really didn't faze Maggie. I angled the first one of these slightly just to make the turn a little bit easier, because it was blind and a bit behind the tree, so I just angled the first one just to smooth off that curve. Anyway, I'll just let you get back to watching.
We could run away. You and me together, baby, we don't gotta stay. Let's lose our minds. We could go crazy and leave it all behind. It could be glorious, 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 glorious. It could be glorious, 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 glorious. Say what you feel. I don't even know if this is real. How can you like me? You're as close to perfect as anyone can be. You and me, we don't need no one else than each other. You and me. We could run away. You and me together, baby, we don't gotta stay. We don't have to stay. Let's lose our minds. We could go crazy and leave it all behind. It could be glorious, 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 glorious.
Well, I haven't checked in for a little while. You've just been getting to see me ride, but Maggie did a 25.6 dressage. We then had a pull down, which was my mistake. I just didn't have enough contact into fence number 4. And we've just jumped cross country. And we've just jumped clear cross country. So we've completed on 29.6, which means we've won. Maggie's oblivious, Maggie doesn't care, which means we are qualified for badminton. Maggie's just having a bit of grass and a bit of bonding time with my auntie. That is Sandy, my auntie, and she owns Maggie, and she very kindly bought her for me because I had no way of funding a horse when we were looking for my next one when we got Maggie, and she's been so supportive. She bought me my first ever competition horse as well, Dusty, and she also has a quarter share in red, so I'm very, very lucky to have her support, and really, really glad to finally do her proud with Miss Maggie May.
'Cause if I'm the ocean, you're the rain. We only need each other, baby, you know we're the same. It could be glorious, 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 glorious. It could be glorious, 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 glorious.
Press for help. Yay, well done. It's dinged. Oh, the receipt, m6toll.co.uk. Business expense that. Marketing, we'll call it. Oh, it's really close on the left-hand side. Oh, my neck.
It's really close everywhere.
Really close. Woo. Centimetres to spare. Oh, we've just got home. What a great day. I'm fetching Donnie in. Mum's brought the lorry back round, so Maggie's in there whinnying. Good girl. I'm gonna wait while Mum puts the lights on. She was absolutely incredible. You wouldn't believe how good she was, Donnie. She was as good as you cross country. It was causing absolute carnage, the cross country was. We only had a 58% clear rate, and I think it was 28% didn't complete the course, which is just very, very tough. That's probably the best way to describe it. Very tough. So, yeah. Well, that's the thing at regionals. At regionals, obviously, you've got to have a certain amount of experience in order to be there in the first place. So, you know, you've got to have a decent horse that's managed to qualify for it. Do you want me to undo this? Where is she? Where's the super duper duper star? She says, I'm here, guys, let me out. So yes, we are one of the regional champions for this year at BE100 level, which is pretty cool. It's the second time Maggie's been a regional champion. If you remember, last year she won her regionals at BD, and then she's now managed to do it for eventing, which is very cool. So we are now making plans for badminton, which is super duper duper exciting. But anyway, we'll chat about that later on. As you can see, she's happy as Larry. We need to get sorted because we are tired. It's been a long day as always, but very worthwhile. Got lots of unloading to do. So I'm going to sign off now. Say thank you very much for watching, and make sure to subscribe because we will be at badminton next year, so you'll want to see what happens. And we've got more exciting things happening this season. So make sure to subscribe to keep up with the action of my very, very, very clever ponies. And I will see you very soon.
Yeah.